I was quite hesitant to do a review on A Good Day to Die Hard because I didn't really want to badmouth John McClane because, well, I've pretty much enjoyed all the other films that he's been in, and I like the character that Bruce Willis has created. And I thought that saying bad things about A Good Day to Die Hard would be badmouthing one of my favourite movie characters. But that being said, John McClane isn't in this movie. His name is. I mean, and Bruce Willis is portraying a character called John McClane, who apparently has the same memories as the John McClane you remember from all the other films. But the person in this movie is not John McClane. So I suddenly realised it would be alright because I'm not really bad mouthing a character, I'm bad mouthing a director who is so talentless that he has ruined not only a popular film franchise but also a much beloved video game in Max Payne, which to me is almost as bad, if not worse, than Die Hard 5. Essentially, the film follows Bruce Willis as John McClane as he goes to Russia to find his son, who has gotten mixed up in some misdealings, and he goes over there to mend fences because they've got a fractured relationship. Is this sounding like the fourth film already? Um, but he goes over there, and not everything's as it seems. He gets wrapped up in a global espionage storyline that is really not right for the Die Hard franchise. It turns out his son's deep involved in it, and he has to help him out, get him out of a bind, as only a New Jersey cop can. Uh, but the film really doesn't show the John McClane or what you'd interpret his son to be like. I mean, it's got none of the classic humour. All the humour written into it is dreadful, and I mean dreadful. Um, Bruce Willis tries his best to provide some sort of entertainment or, charisma, but the character that's written on the page and the one being portrayed by director John Moore is just one that is just awful. It's a film that has absolutely no soul to it. There are moments when he's just mowing people down. There's a moment right at the beginning of the film where John McClane, the self-sized hero, the tragic hero who sometimes loses people but always does his best to get people out of a situation, actually drives over a car with a civilian woman in it, crushing the entire thing, and then he just drives on, as if to say, someone else will get her out, she'll be fine. But it's just a film that's so incredibly stupid. It thinks it look. The director thinks he's shown a great attention to detail, but there's so many plot holes. It's pointless putting a lot on screen because your viewer is constantly thinking, wait a minute, they could have just done that much easier. It's a film that makes no sense story-wise. It's a film that makes no sense in the direction it takes because it depicts a hero who doesn't care about collateral damage, who isn't the hero that everyone expected him to be. It's it's a film that just does not fit within this world, and in a way, it's a film that highlights the fact that John Moore shouldn't be working ever. And I think um, it's just a shame because I think everyone was looking forward to a fifth Die Hard. Some people have been let down by the fourth. Some people have enjoyed it. I'm among the few, I think, who enjoyed it. I think there are quite a few actually, but I think it's one of Len Wiseman's best films, uh, which is uh, which is saying which isn't saying a lot because he's done two Underworlds. So Die Hard 4 is definitely one of his best films, and Die Hard 5 is just pales in comparison. And it's got some of the worst acting in it I've seen in a good long while. There's a bit halfway through the film where the main villain actually woofs on the screen. Like, he barks like a dog, and he doesn't do it for any reason apart from, I assume the director thought it would look menacing to watch a grown man bark like a dog. It's got a villainess woman who does the usual stuff you'd expect in a film with absolutely no brain. She takes her clothes off regularly and she runs around like, well, a hysterical woman, but with a gun. It is farcical, this film. There's a scene where the two main characters, John and Jack, played by Jai Courtney, they jump down a tube which is being riddled with bullets, and yet not one flies through any section therein, despite the fact it's coming from a jet or a helicopter or whatever. It doesn't really matter because the film is just so stupid. It's got these moments strewn across the film which are supposed to come off as John and Jack regrowing their relationship after everything that's happened, and yet the scenes are so short to fit in the tons of action they're in, that you don't get anything from them. They're so short. There's nothing in it. And one of the scenes that's supposed to be about a father reconnecting with his son isn't him actually talking to his son. It's him talking to another man who has absolutely no reason to be asking the questions he is asking, and it's just stupid because this entire conversation they're having could be had with his son, and it would have had a lot more effect than the one that they put in the movie. It makes absolutely no sense, some of the choices that this director has made, and it's just an awful, awful film, and probably one of the worst films I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot because I've seen some bad films. But I have to give Die Hard 5 a 0 out of 10. It is that bad.